Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report, with a little bit of breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders have just made a trade with the Buffalo Bills for cornerback Taron Johnson. And coming up on this show, I'm going to tell you why Raiders fans should think that this is a sneaky good trade for the silver and black. Now, hey man, I don't care what time of the day it is. When big time Raiders news happens, I'm going to do my best to keep you guys up to date. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. But if you're wondering, who is Taron Johnson? I'm going to tell you the role that he's going to fit, how much money the Raiders are going to pay him, what the ultimate trade details were, and then how much money we have left in salary cap space with NFL free agency starting tomorrow. Let's first talk about the trade. The Raiders and the Bills make the deal. The Raiders send a 6th-round pick in 2025 to the Buffalo Bills. Now, this has not been clarified in terms of which 6th-round pick it is for the Las Vegas Raiders, but they're both very close. You got 182 and you have pick 185 in the 6th round. So one of those picks is going to go to the Buffalo Bills. In return, the Raiders end up getting Taron Johnson and a 7th-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The reason why that this is an interesting, sneakily good trade for the Silver and Black is because it was reported and it was expected that Buffalo was going to move on from Taron Johnson, that they were going to cut him. Now, some of you might be going, why did we just trade for a player that the Bills were going to cut? Because the Raiders wanted this guy, and ultimately, the Raiders, when you have $128 million in salary cap space, if you want to have to pay for a player in terms of draft capital to get on a 1-year prove-it deal, maybe there's something that you're really liking him, and you can really turn on the 2023 numbers, and you can tell that he's a hell of a player. I talked to our Bills host here at Chat Sports, and he said the best year that he had by far was 2023, and that's when he was a Pro Bowler. So obviously, you're hoping, can you get a little bit of a spark of that? But to me, the Raiders send a 6th. Raiders get back a 7th, so you still have 11 picks now in total, which is 2 picks in the first, 1 in 14, pick 36, 67, 102, 117, 134, 175. One of those 6th-round picks. Now you got an extra 7th, and then also your other 7th-round pick, which is pick 218 in the NFL Draft. Now, what I want to know from all of y'all is, who do you think won the trade? And I'm not sitting up here acting like everybody knows who Taron Johnson is, but I want to be clear. He is going to be a starter for the Las Vegas Raiders because it does fill a hole that this team needs at the nickel cornerback position. And this is what makes this deal very interesting to me. Darnay Holmes, he's going to be a free agent. Eric Stokes, he's going to be a free agent. But going out and getting Taron Johnson, he's going to fill that Darnay nickel slot type of role. He did miss 9 games last season, but the way that the Buffalo Bills kind of used him, in 2023, right? I'm gonna explain this the way that I would Isaiah Paul. 2023, he did a hell of a job working in the nickel. And I thought he really found his way home there, at least, again, based on what I know about Taron Johnson, based on what our guys here at Chat Sports are telling me. And then last season, they tried to change up that role a little bit, have him play almost like a Jeremy Chin safety nickel linebacker role, and he just really didn't do that all that well. I'm not saying that they're lining up a 5'11 guy, 192 at linebacker, but they changed up his job a little bit. So you saw that he got better and better at nickel, then they tried to switch it out a little bit, and then it just didn't work as well as what we've seen in the past. Kind of like when you saw Isaiah Paul. First few years in the league, those first 2, really good. Then they tried to make him into a free safety, and it just didn't work out. If you believe in this coaching staff, and I think at this point in the offseason, what else do we have to do besides believe in the Las Vegas Raiders coaching staff? But I do think that this is a very sneaky move for a Raiders team that has tons, and I mean tons, of holes that need to be filled. So what's interesting about this, you're taking on some money, okay? I'm looking at the numbers right now on Spytek, and you're taking on $8.67 million. So the Raiders this season will pay Taron Johnson $8.67 million. His salary cap for next year is at $10 million. However, though, I'm looking at it on Over the Cap, he's got $0 million guaranteed. So essentially what you're doing here is you're swapping a 6th for a 7th. You're paying a 30-year-old corner who's going to be able to be your starting nickel corner, or at least better depth than we've had at the nickel corner position. Somebody who's going to want to go out there and compete, somebody who's going to want to battle. but most importantly, somebody that has to earn that job. It's essentially a one-year prove-it deal. Here's kind of an interesting note. 1.75 of Johnson's 2026 salary becomes fully guaranteed on March 15th. Buffalo takes on $9.5 million of dead cap, freeing up $1.9 million. So I can remember a few years ago when it was like reported that the Raiders were going to cut Gabe Jackson, they were going to cut Rodney Hudson, and then they ended up trading both of those guys. Gabe to Seattle, Rodney Hudson to the Arizona Cardinals. I think what you're seeing here is a very, similar type of situation for the Raiders. But they go out and they get somebody that can do a lot of different things here in the nickel type of role. And when you have a 3-4 defense, when you're switching, right? So now you're going to have to put a little bit more stress once in a while on that nickel corner. You got Darian Porter, you have 2 safeties, but because you're going to have to rely on your Mike and your Will, there's going to be more opportunities in passing situation where nickels are going to have to play. Like, do I think that this is going to be somebody that goes out there and gets us 800 snaps this season? Probably not. I mean, last year he played 571 snaps for the Buffalo Bills. The season before, 646. 2023 was his best year. 954 snaps. If you guys like PFF numbers, last year he had a 60.5 overall grade, 66.8 coverage grade, which again, to me, I want my corners to be able to go out there and to be able to cover. In 2024, 65 overall, but 2023, the numbers align. An 80.2 overall PFF grade, 81.7 coverage grade. And again, like, this is somebody who I do think at 29, 30 years old is going to be able to step in and help us out, at least compete a little bit more. He's been in the NFL since 2018. He's got 113 games underneath his belt, 87 starts from top to bottom. Didn't have any interceptions last season, did have 2 the year before that. But you're looking at a dude who he's had over 42 tackles every single year since his rookie season in 2018. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, nickel slot corner who's going to be able to go up and tackle, going to be able to help you out. I mean, even in 13 games last season, still 57 tackles. 2023, though, I mean, those numbers are extremely, extremely impressive. 98 tackles for a nickel corner. That's big-time stuff right there. So, again, the Las Vegas Raiders are making a trade, and they are doing it right before NFL free agency. If you guys don't know, I will be live tomorrow on the Raiders Report starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific. I know it's going to be bright and early, but if you're looking for 20, 25, 30-plus hours of live Raiders free agency content, buckle it up, Buttercup, because I'm telling you this right now. We walked in today with $128 million of salary cap space. Number 1 on Over the Cap, number 1 on Spytek. After this trade for Taron Johnson, we're going to be somewhere around like $120-ish million, I believe, if the number, let me just double check. Raiders now, we're at $121 million now is what Over the Cap is saying. Though I actually don't know if those numbers are impacting. I actually think that those are the numbers that we started out today, because I did do a video today. Sorry, I'm literally live rambling here on this video, but actually, I think we were at 121 today, and I believe now we're going to be at 121 minus $8 million after Johnson. So let's just call it $113 million, $112 million is where the Raiders are going to be at, but still, number 1 in salary cap space. So one more time here, the breaking news, the Raiders and the Buffalo Bills, they have just completed a trade. The Raiders are sending a 6th-round pick. Still don't know if that's 182 or 185. In return, the Raiders are getting a 7th-round pick from the Buffalo Bills, which I guess real quick here I can try to find that out, what pick that is. Give me a second. Hang on. We're almost there. I know, I should have probably did this before. Sorry, y'all. I got the news. I got excited. I was like, we're going to turn it on. All right, so the Bills have 2 7th-round picks. So it's either going to be 219 or 227. So either 219 or 227 is what we pick up. And a starting caliber nickel corner in a brand new 3-4 defense here for the Las Vegas Raiders. So again, we get Taron Johnson, cornerback, 7th-round pick, Buffalo Bills get a 6th. If you haven't already, let me know who you think wins this trade. Please let me do so. Where we stand right now, still number 1 in salary cap space at $113 million. Get a potential starter, somebody that's got 113 games underneath their belt, essentially on a 1-year prove-it deal at $8.67 million. If you were to ask me how I would grade this trade for the Raiders, I would give this trade a B- to a C+ grade. I think it is an above average move. I'm not going to sit here and go like, wow, this is an amazing move, but I think it's a sneaky move. And, you know, $8 million is a little bit of money. At the exact same time, though, when you have the amount of money that the Raiders do, and if you're planning on spending big, like making a move like this tells me that we're really going to try to go out and spend big on some other areas because we know we have a lot of other big-time team needs. People don't like to face this fact either, though. Trading away Max Crosby was tough. I'm not saying Taron Johnson is your replacement for Max, but when you trade away Max, you get that extra draft capital and you get that extra money. So you turn that player, hopefully one starter, into 4 to 5 different starters. I want it to be a little bit more than Taron Johnson, but this is a sneaky trade for the Las Vegas Raiders because, again, they're getting a player that can play a big-time need for us in the nickel. They're getting somebody that's still 29, 30 years old on a 1-year prove-it deal. I like guys that feel like that they have to prove themselves. Overall, in a really good fit here for the Raiders. Taron Johnson, welcome to the Las Vegas Raiders, and if you guys haven't already remembered, I will see you guys live tomorrow here on the Raiders Report. I've already pre-filmed the video bright and early. You guys will get that one in the morning, so if I'm not talking about Taron Johnson, it's because I already filmed it before I left work today. It's just a little bit of a free agency primer from top to bottom, though. It's changed now a little bit with Johnson. Overall, though, I think that this is a sneaky good move for the Raiders. I'm excited for NFL free agency. Taron Johnson, welcome to the Las Vegas Raiders. If you're looking for even more videos from me, make sure you click the subscribe button right here. I promise you this. You guys already know. I will do my best to keep you up to date. Alex and I were literally just sitting back watching a movie. I literally had one leg in the shower. I got the update on my phone. I just shaved my face, and I said, we got to go make a video. And when Raiders news happens, if you want up to date, subscribe and check out these other videos right here.